Hello and welcome to another update video about Arweave. AR, yeah, it's a coin that is in a lifetime downtrend. I mean, I know there are other charts that show a longer chart history, but it doesn't change the analysis. For example, the Bittrex chart, or I think OKX, they show this uptrend here. So it's technically not a lifetime downtrend. However, the move to the upside is not impulsive. And it also doesn't change anything because the move to the downside is a 5-wave move. Okay, so from an Elliott wave point of view, we are here in a potential downtrend because the move up is a questionable 5-wave move, or rather it's actually corrective. Yeah, it's at best a diagonal, but it all gets more complicated and problematic if you take a look at the downtrend, which is a 5-wave move. So that means for just risk management purposes, I have to call out this as a wave 1 to the downside, which is a 5-wave move. It is probably working here on an ending diagonal, at least I hope, because then at least this downtrend is nearly over. But I have no indication that we have started a rally. Now, if it starts a rally, it could rally quite considerably, okay? It could rally in an ABC structure in wave 2. This would be my first assumption if it starts a rally, that it's corrective, and could reach the area between $19 and $47, basically. Yeah? These are the Fibonacci levels that will be relevant. If it shows us, instead of 3 waves, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 waves above resistance, then a 3-wave pullback, I mean, then we have to change the assumption, yeah? But it would need to prove that. It would need to show us some evidence that it's starting to turn bullish again. At the moment, this discussion doesn't make any sense anyway, because shorter time frame, there is no setup that would support higher prices anyway. So it's falling and falling. We have a potential trend line that the price could use to find support again. But as you can see, the rallies, yeah, they have all been corrective. And all the rallies, they get shorter and shorter and shorter. So it's quite depressing to watch this. Now, you could argue maybe there is a descending wedge that is forming here within this price channel. So you can pay attention to that one. But a break above the upper boundary line could only potentially start that wave 4. So yeah, so we need to be ready for a potential rally. Looking at the subwaves, for me, it seems as if this would just be the wave 4 in the wave 5. This rally, if it starts, yeah, would be an ABC structure. If it goes any higher and breaks above the descending trend line in yellow, then it's probably already the wave 2. I can see that happen in case Bitcoin gets really a run and we get an alt season. I can see Arweave rally potentially into this region, but it doesn't need to. I've often had it in the past. I've been analyzing the crypto market for many years, that there are coins that eventually fade out and they just go lower, 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 actually without real structure. So actually without real structure, here I can still recognize a structure. So I think we are sort of in the late stages of this decline. What we can recognize as well, in addition to Elliott wave, is this parallel trend channel. I can tell you that a break below this trend line here would have bearish implications, because then it opens the door for a much deeper drop. We have, if I look at the other charts, I mean, let's just open the Bittrex because it's got longer chart history. You can see that it doesn't look very healthy. I mean, if it goes any lower, it breaks to the downside of this trend channel I showed you, then there is a cluster of support that probably starts around $3.20. It's not even far away anymore. Yeah, I mean, what do we talk about here? I mean, we talk about, I mean, let me just double check that. This looks even more bearish on the Bittrex chart, actually. But it's just like a 20% drop. That sounds a lot for crypto. It's not. So I would not rule out it gets there. Point of control, which is basically the price that you had most volume traded at. That's around $2.40. So I would not be surprised for it to reach that area, 320 to 240. Maybe it will find support there. At the moment, I think there is zero bullishness on the smaller time frames. There is zero bullishness on the larger time frames. So I think it's just here careful. I think this might be a good short if we get into this region, but you know, it first needs to get there. To the upside, I mean, there are other setups which give us more clarity, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, long-term uptrends, yeah, other charts. This one, anything with a 5-wave move down is always a bit questionable. Again, it can always turn bullish, but there's just zero evidence for it at the moment. Short-term downtrend anyway, and it's constrained by this wedge pattern, yeah, and by the trend channel. So going down, yeah, further, and it's now it's trying to break below the previous swing low, and I think it will make a new low. So we've got here $4.17 roughly as previous swing low, forming a double bottom. They rarely hold, so at the moment I would expect it to go a little lower, hit here the 350, maybe even 320 level next, yeah. Also, if you consider Bitcoin, we're expecting Bitcoin to make another low, so it could just sort of follow that path here to the downside, unfortunately. Yeah, so quite depressing, but that's what it is. Yeah, we can't. There's no point in talking about anything different without any setup that would even support the wave 2 rally at the moment. So further downside. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.